Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Noelle. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be doing a reading wrap up for the months of July and August. Also, side note, can't believe that August is basically over. It's the 29th, I think, today, and August went by so fast. Like, she did not want to be here. She did not want to be here at all. And the fact that we're about to enter September 2022 blows my mind, truly, but here we are. So I'm gonna be talking about the 4 books that I read across July and August. And you're probably like, dang girl, you only read 4 books. But I've had a busy summer, okay? And I just started my new job in August, which I'll get into talking about my job. I wanted to talk a lot about my job and nursing school and like taking the NCLEX, but I haven't gotten to it, so I have to do that. But I want to show you guys the 4 books I read. You guys have probably heard of them if you're anywhere on the book talk, booktube, hemispheres. These are popular books, probably overrated books to some of you, but I read them for the first time, so I'm just gonna let you guys know what I think of them. And yeah, and if you think my hair looks crazy, because I'm not sure if it looks crazy or not, let's pretend it doesn't, okay? I'm gonna act like it doesn't, but I think it might look a little crazy. Anyway, so the first book I read in July was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This book has been everywhere for months. I mean, this author alone, Colleen Hoover, she's been everywhere for months. You cannot avoid her if you're in the book spaces. Like, even if you don't like her books, don't like her writing, don't like her as an author, you can't avoid her because someone's gonna bring her up. Like, she's everywhere. And if you go to Barnes & Noble, Target, her books are spread out all across the place. She has really grown in popularity, especially amongst like people who are just now like starting to read again as adults and all that good stuff. So this was the first book I ever read by her because this is the book I feel like gets talked about a lot. And it has a sequel coming out in October, and it has a movie being made about it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so I read this. I went in for the most part blind. Like, I didn't know much, which I feel like is how you should go into a lot of Colleen Hoover books. Like, it's really hard, but you need to avoid spoilers as much as possible on like TikTok and stuff, because I've seen spoilers and that ruins some parts of the books for me that I read by her. But anyway, this book follows Lily Bloom as she navigates her life. I don't even want to say like what this book is about. Like, just read the back of it. Because I feel like if I say stuff, it just takes too much away. But the book follows Lily right now as an adult, living in Boston, and it also flashes forward back to her life as a teenager when she was living with her parents, and as she had this relationship with this other teenager, a boy named Atlas. And now, it just flashes back and forth between that time of her life and her now as a, 20-something living in Boston, starting a business, meeting people, and just figuring out stuff about her relationship, understanding her mother better, different things like that. This book was a roller coaster, truly. It was low-key traumatic at some points, can't lie. I don't read a lot of books with like a lot of heavy trauma, so this definitely did have some, but I did like it. I did enjoy it. The author's note at the end made me cry. It made me tear up for sure. It definitely made me appreciate this book more. Colleen Hoover's writing is not too hard at all. So like, I can see why it's like she's a good author for someone who's just getting back into reading. I can see why, because her writing style is, it's easy to follow. And she's a great storyteller. I think Colleen Hoover is talented. I know people like to hate on her a little bit, but even if you don't like her books, I feel like she's still a very creative author. And she put her all into this. This was really good, and I'm excited for the sequel. Even though I do find this book to be a little bit traumatic and it kind of stressed me out at times, she did what she had to do, period. And the author's note, like I said at the end, just really made me appreciate it more. This is not really a book I think I would reread, though. This is not a comfort book, at least not for me. Maybe to some other people. But this is not a comfort book to me. Nothing about this book was comforting at all to me personally, to me. This book also has caused a lot of interesting discord on TikTok, whether like which characters that people support. Again, not trying to give too much away, but it's interesting to see people's thoughts about the characters, the male characters in this book. Very interesting. But yeah. So I read this book. I gave it like probably 4 stars. I enjoyed it. Yeah, It Ends With Us. So then after I read It Ends With Us, I said, okay, let me read another Colleen Hoover book because she has a lot. So I read November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Disclaimer, if you order this book off of Amazon, which I did, I don't know if I just got a default copy or what, but like literally, look at this. Is it not gonna do it? Maybe I took all the pages out. But it was literally falling apart. Like I was reading in the pool. See, there we go. I was reading in the pool and pages fell out in the water. Like I was like, what is happening? So this book was literally falling apart. So I don't know if I just got a bad copy or what. That's never happened to me. And I get almost all my books from Amazon. Don't know what happened. But anyway, this book right here, again, slightly a roller coaster. But I love the way she wrote it. I love it. Basically, this follows Fallon and Ben, and they only meet each other on November 9th throughout the years for like 5 years straight. They don't see each other. They don't see each other on any other day of the year, only November 9th. And I'm not even going to get into why, because you can't even talk about these books without spoiling the whole plot. Like, you literally can't. I'm not going to get into why they only meet on one day of the year, but I'm going to just let you know. So every chapter is just a different November 9th. And it's dual perspective, both Fallon and Ben, which if you know me, I love a dual perspective in a book. I love knowing what the guy is thinking. I love it. So yeah, I enjoyed this book a lot more than I enjoyed this one, but it still has some trauma in it. I did see a spoiler when I was reading this book, so it kind of got ruined for me, but there was still some other stuff that didn't get spoiled that was like, whoa. You know, Colleen Hoover, her books just have some type of trauma in it. Nothing is rainbow, butterfly, sunshine. At least in these 2 books. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe in her other ones. But yeah, this book was better. I liked it. It was more romantic to me. This is not a romance novel to me. Some parts of it are romantic, but it's not a romance novel to me. Whereas this is kind of a romance novel. A very dramatic one. Highly recommend this book. I enjoyed it. Would I read it again? Probably not. I mean, maybe I would. I would read it again before I read this one. It's just I have so many other comfort books. Colleen Hoover is not really comfort for me. Colleen Hoover is just, you want to read a very interesting story, interesting plot line. Literally the stuff she comes up with, I don't think I could have came up with myself. That's why I just give her, credit where credit's due, because she's really creative, in my opinion. So November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I really liked it. Her writing style is different. Yeah, I don't know what else to say without spoiling it. She also loves naming her characters very interesting characters like Atlas, Fallon. Like, she has very interesting names. I like them though. Fallon's kind of a cool name. I don't know about Atlas, but Fallon, yeah, I kind of like that name. So yeah, November 9, these were 2 Colleen Hoover books I read. Haven't read a Colleen Hoover book again since. I wanted to take a little break from her, but I probably will go back to her. I really want to read Reminders of Him and what's the other one? All Your Perfects. I really want to read those 2 because I hear a lot of good things about those 2. So those might be my next reads. Okay, the next book I read in this little reading thing, this reading wrap up, is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I've had this book on my to be read list for a long time, like months. This book was highly, like, everyone was talking about it at one point, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to read it. This book, I don't know if I just heard too many good things about it, so my expectations going into it were very high. I found this book to be a little overhyped, just a little bit. One thing I have to say, this book is way too long. This book is 437 pages. She could have cut out like 150 of those pages. It didn't need to be this long at all. The book, I expected most of it to take place in Spain because it's all about a fake dating couple at the main character, her sister. Her sister's getting married in Spain and she's doing a fake couple thing with her coworker. Yeah, I expected most of this book to take place in Spain, and most of this book did not take place in Spain. Most of it took place in New York, and some parts took place in Seattle. Yeah, it just, again, would I reread this book? Probably not. Maybe if I had nothing else to read, because I feel like I'm missing something. Like, so many people liked it. So many people loved it. Like, some of these people, like, this is their book. Like, they just love Aaron Blackford. Like, Aaron Blackford is their top book boyfriend. And listen, I fall for these fictional men all the time. And Aaron Blackford is not, he's not my top book boyfriend. He's not even top 5. I didn't see anything special about it. Like, it was cute. I love a good fake dating. I love a good enemies to lovers. It was cute, but it didn't do it for me. Like, it just wasn't as great as people were saying. It's a little overrated. It is. I don't know. It was cute. I gave it like 3.5 stars, 3.7. It took me forever to read it because it was so long. Like, some points of the book were just really slow. And I was just like, okay, let's move on with it. Let's move on with it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. I liked it. The author just has a lot to say, I guess. I liked it. She has another book coming out in September, which actually should be coming out next week. I think it comes out September 5th, called The American Roommate Experiment. And I think it follows 2 of the characters in this book. So I probably will read it, honestly, because I didn't hate the book. It just wasn't my favorite. And I thought I was gonna love it, like love it. Because I'm pretty basic. Like, when everyone loves something, I tend to love it too. But yeah, this just didn't do it for me. It was okay. Like, you know, it was a cute book. Okay, the last book I'm talking about is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I'm currently reading this right now. This book has been all over my For You page on TikTok all summer. Everyone's been reading this book. Everyone's been comparing this book to another book called Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, saying that Love in Other Words is it's basically the same book as that book, but Love in Other Words is better. I never read Love in Other Words, so I just, you know, I don't know. But I found that interesting that a lot of people are saying that. Like, I feel like that's low-key embarrassing for the author. But so far, so good. I know it's a childhood friend to lovers book. I know it takes place like on a lake or something. I'm not really reading in the summertime. It's really hitting September and I'm still reading it, but whatever. Everyone says it's super good. So I'm looking forward to finishing it. Yeah, so this is what I'll be reading for the coming week or whatever. And then I'll move on into the other books in September. But this was a really short video, I know, but I just didn't have that many books to show you guys. But I still want to record one because I didn't want books to just be piling up, and it's November and I'm talking about 20 books. So I just want to show you guys the books that I took time to read in these 2 months. Again, like I said, I was busy, I was working, you know, trying to be a working girl or whatever. But overall, I think it was a good reading time. Like, reading is just never a bad time, you know? So anyways, if you made it this far, this video is going to be really short. That's good, I guess. If you made it this far, please leave me any reviews down below. There's a lot of different books that I'm looking forward to trying in the next couple of months. Everyone's been talking about Magnolia Park, so I'm looking forward to reading that. I want to dive into Lauren Asher's F1 series, like what is it called? Like, the first book is like called Throttled or something like that. So there's a lot of other books I want to try, but leave me any recommendations down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, now that I've gotten into my work schedule a little bit, I'll be a little bit more consistent on YouTube again, because I was so consistent once upon a time. Like in 2020, I was so consistent, and then I just fell off. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.